What's smoking, y'all? Welcome back to Smokin'Kitchen. Jamaican meet Irish Guinness Braised Oxtail. Over a bed of rice and peas, it's rich, tender, and delicious. Let's get into it. The first step in all of this is to sell a leg so you can get a couple packs of oxtails. We're gonna get them in a bowl and we're gonna start cutting off that excess fat around the oxtails. My family doesn't like all that extra fat that comes on oxtails sometimes, so we just trim them down. But we save that oxtail fat because we are going to make beef tallow with it. So I'm just gonna put that in a bowl and set it aside. With your trimmed oxtail, we like to give them a quick wash in vinegar and water, so did that in drying them here. I've got some homemade jerk seasoning that is more herb forward than spice, but you can use whatever jerk seasoning that you have, and we're gonna add that into our oxtail and just mix them by hand. Next, we're gonna place them on a wire rack and put them in the fridge for around 2 hours just to get a quick dry brine on them. While the oxtail's in the fridge, we're gonna chop up those trimmings and we're gonna throw them in a pot for the same time that we braise those oxtail, for around an hour or two. Now here is that same pot with the oil that came off of those oxtail, like quite a bit. And we're going to use that tallow to actually sear our oxtail. We're using the oxtail to cook the oxtail.
We use the stones to destroy the stones.
Cause this meat costs too much to let any of it go to waste. So you're going around 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and halfway between, you're just gonna give them a quick flip. And then we remove. Once all of the oxtail has been seared, we're just gonna take them out. We're just gonna pour our veggies right in. And we're gonna cook those for around 5 to 7 minutes or so until softened. Once your vegetables have been softened, we're going to add in, you guessed it, garlic. And you know me, I like my garlic. So I'm gonna add around 5 to 6 cloves of garlic. Now you'll see me adding flour and brown sugar here. That's because I forgot tomato paste. So do not forget the tomato paste, because with tomato paste, you get a much better flavor and umami than you get with flour and brown sugar, but it's a good alternative. So you're gonna mix that until your vegetables are well coated. And then it's time for some of that Guinness. So we're gonna crack us open a warm one and pour that over our vegetables. Now what we're looking to do is to cook the Guinness down for a couple of minutes. And then we're gonna come in with our Worcestershire sauce, our beef stock, and a couple sprigs of fresh thyme. Once well combined and heated back up, now it's time to add our oxtail. And you wanna add your oxtail back into the pot in a way that all of it is submerged in the liquid. It doesn't need to be all the way, but at least 3/4 should be submerged in that liquid. And then you have 2 ways you can braise this. You can do the oven or the stove. I like to do the oven for halfway. So I have it set to 325 degrees. And I'm gonna put on something y'all have not seen before, a cast iron lid. And we're gonna pop that in the oven for around 2.5 hours. After 2.5 hours, I removed all of the oxtail from the pot, and I'm gonna blend up around 3/4 of the vegetables in the pot for my gravy. I want the starch from the vegetables to give me a thicker, silkier gravy than adding, flour or cornstarch. You're gonna take your blended vegetables and pour them back into your pot. Then you're gonna stir everything and let it come up to a slight boil. And this is also the point where you want to taste test and see if you need to add any more salt, pepper, or any other seasonings. And if everything is good and your gravy is as thick as you like, you're gonna add your oxtail back into your pot and pour that gravy all over those oxtails. After a few hours, you should have oxtail that is fall off the bone tender and a gravy that's deep, dark, and just packed with a ton of flavor. Serve it over some rice and peas, spoon that gravy all over the top, and you've got a dish that just feels like comfort food but tastes restaurant level. If you enjoyed this recipe, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Mel, this is Smokin'Kitchen, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.